At the beginning of the story, we see many people wearing cloaks, and in front of all of them is a demon floating in the air. Then the heavenly demon says, "Blood and fear, is that truly what you all want?" Right after that, all the cloaked people attack the heavenly demon. But the heavenly demon simply raises one hand. Then he says, "All right then, if this is what you want, I'll give you exactly that." As the cloaked attackers rush toward him, all of their heads suddenly explode. Their blood scatters through the air. Under the moonlight in the open night sky, blood rains down, and the heavenly demon stands in the center of it. He says, "How weak these people are." Then we see a few people gripping their weapons, preparing to fight the heavenly demon. The heavenly demon stretches his hand forward again and attacks, saying, "How foolish these people are." On the other side, the fighters rush toward him, but the heavenly demon's attack passes right through them, and in the blink of an eye, their bodies are sliced into pieces. The heavenly demon smiles and says, "Look at yourselves. Now I will show you the true power of salt augmenting demonic art." Suddenly, the ground starts shaking. Then we see two massive hands emerging from the earth. One of the hands reaches toward the cloaked people. Seeing such enormous hands, they begin to run away, but the second hand comes down on them and grabs them all. Both giant hands close tightly, trapping everyone inside. Then we see one of the cloaked men saying, "Is something like this even possible?" Next, the giant hand lifts the trapped people upward. Some of the cloaked ones had already been crushed to death, while a few were still alive. They think, defeating the heavenly demon is impossible for us. Then the heavenly demon begins consuming their souls. After that, he crushes them tightly in his fist, killing them. Pieces of their bodies fall to the ground. The heavenly demon begins to smile. Then he says, "Were those the last remaining candidates for the heavenly demon title?" He looks around and adds, "It's so quiet. Maybe in this blood-soaked life, I'll never be able to live peacefully." Suddenly, the heavenly demon feels a sharp pain. He grabs his chest tightly. Moments later, he starts coughing up blood. Then an evil presence appears above him, an entity laughing at him. The heavenly demon thinks, "Has it begun? The recoil of the soul-augmenting demonic art. The curse has started. After consuming thousands of souls, one gains absolute power, but that absolute power demands a price." He continues thinking, "Even if other heavenly demons could not overcome this, I believed I could handle it, but now it seems I was overconfident. This is the result of my arrogance." Then we see two glowing eyes, followed by countless eyes appearing behind them. Suddenly, the heavenly demon looks forward and becomes shocked. Near those eyes, a portal, almost like a black hole, starts forming. Countless chains emerge from it. Those chains spin together into a swirling black vortex, with the heavenly demon trapped at its center. The chains burst outward and surround him, locking him tightly. The heavenly demon says, "Are you trying to drag me into hell?" Then he starts laughing loudly. Roaring, he says, "Who dares to force me?" With that scream, all the chains shatter instantly. But then his body begins to glow. He becomes shocked. His body is slowly fading away. As he returns to his true form, he thinks, "This is not what I wanted." The soul-augmenting demonic art doesn't just consume other souls. It eventually consumes its user's soul too. In my next life, I will choose a completely different path, a peaceful life. Scene shift. We move to another place, a manor where a small pond sits quietly. Next to the pond sits a man. Soon, a maid approaches him. She is a servant of the Golden Wall merchant family, and her name is Soso. She says, "You came here again. Please come inside and eat quickly before the food gets cold." The man lifts his hand and performs an attack in the air in front of Soso. But nothing happens. And from this, it becomes clear the heavenly demon has reincarnated inside this man's body. This man's name is Byok Taeson, the second son of the Golden Wall merchant family. Seeing his behavior, Soso gets annoyed and says, "What is wrong with you? You've been acting like this for days. Go to your room right now." Taeson looks at himself and thinks, "The idea that I'm so weak, I can't even slice a thin neck. This body truly is trash, completely worthless." Later, many dishes are shown, and Taeson, the reincarnated heavenly demon, is eating them. Suddenly, he begins coughing again and says, "This body is worse than trash." Soso replies, "Please don't say that. You'll get better soon. I heard a very skilled physician is coming." Taeson scoffs. "A physician whose name I've never heard. What could he possibly do?" Soso says softly, "Don't say that. Before good things happen, we must think positively." Taeson narrates, "It has been 10 days since I woke up in this trash body, the second son of Wahan's best merchant group." We see a flashback from 10 days earlier. Taeson waking up in bed, holding his head, confused. Soso helps him put on clothes, but he doesn't understand anything. Taeson continues, "This body is hopeless. It can't dress itself or eat without help. Beautiful face, but the biggest problem is the meridians. Every meridian in this body is disconnected. This body could die at any moment. I can't believe it. I got another life, but inside a body that could die any time. I need to use soul power to reconnect his meridians temporarily and slowly repair them until they are fully functional. The only method is the soul augmenting demonic art. But where will I get souls? I could kill people and take their souls, but then the side effects will return. I cannot waste this second life. The soul augmenting demonic card, something I created right before dying. If I use it, maybe I can reach a new level in this life, a level no heavenly demon has ever reached." Taeson decides to go out. Taeson calls Soso and says, "I want to go outside today." Soso replies, "Really? If you want to go anywhere, I'll take you." Taeson says, "I'm going to the quotation house." Soso blushes and says, "You want to go to a brothel?" Taeson asks, "Why are you so shocked?" Soso says, "In that case, a bodyguard would be better. Warrior Cheon will follow you. You've never acted like this before. I'm really surprised." Taeson insists, "You come with me." Soso blushes again and says, "Thank you for asking, but I don't want to go." Later, after Soso helps him dress, she thinks, he's been acting like a completely different person for days, and now he suddenly wants to go to a brothel. Did something happen to him? Jason asks, "Where is the bodyguard?" Soso says, "He'll arrive soon. He only trains and protects you, nothing else." Then she adds, "Don't push yourself too hard." Taeson doesn't understand what she means. She says, "It feels like you've given up on everything. Please have hope, at least until the physician arrives." Taeson thinks, since ending up like this, I can actually sense what others feel. She truly worries about me. This doesn't feel bad. Suddenly he senses someone. He's here. A voice comes from behind the door. Soso asks, "How did you know?" Taeson thinks, with his overflowing energy, how could I not sense him? The door opens, and a man enters. He greets Taeson. "It has been a long time, young master." This is Chon King-wan, a warrior of the Sword Dragon Corps. Taeson thinks, he's like a sword himself. His energy is so refined. It's hard to believe he's just a core member. He must have trained unimaginably hard. The Golden Wall merchants truly don't have ordinary people. At the brothel, Fragrant Flower House. Later they ride horses and reach one of Wahan's top 3 brothels, Fragrant Flower House. After dismounting, Cheon says, "I'll wait for you here." Taesun asks, "Why?" Cheon doesn't understand. Taesun asks again, "Why wait outside? If something happens inside, do you really think you'll reach me in time? Shut your mouth and come inside. Have some fun." Cheon says, "I can't do that." Taesun asks, "Can't have fun? Or can't obey my orders?" Cheon is shocked. Taesun steps close and says, "If you can protect me and enjoy yourself, it benefits you too. If you cannot, at least stay by my side." Cheon bows and says, "Yes, young master." Taesun smiles and says, "Good, let's go in." The moment they enter, all the girls welcome them warmly. Taesun smiles. A girl plays a zither while Taesun sits, surrounded by women chatting with him. Taesun asks, "Where is my bodyguard?" One girl says, "He's waiting on the stairs outside and blocking the hallway." Taesun thinks, "He's stubborn, doesn't listen." Then he says, "I want to hear all the rumors about me." The girls ask, "What kind of rumors?" Taesun says, "Tell me everything you know about the Golden Wall merchant's second son." Later, we see them explaining all the rumors. Taesun narrates, "As I've heard, I have 1,000 gold nang, a small manor, and ownership of some brothels as inheritance. Because of my poor health, I had no power or influence. It seems that everything. Some big beauties have been given to Taesun. Everyone there knows about this rumor. If I had not stepped out of the house, I would have never known about it." Then after that, Taesun stands up from his place and says, "That's enough, so now let's begin. I cannot handle all of you at once." Then he turns to the side and says, "For this, only you are enough." And it is the same girl who was playing the sitar. Then the girl goes into Taesun's room, and Taesun is sitting on the bed. Then the girl sits next to Taesun. Then she shyly starts looking at Taesun. Then Taesun says, "How long have you been in this quotation house?" Then the girl says, "I've been here for 10 years. Then Taesun says, "That's good. So shall we start now?" Then we are shown the other girls who were leaving from there, and they were talking about Taesun, saying he is very weak. Our turn will come soon. And Cheon was standing quietly, listening to all of them. But suddenly a loud screaming sound comes from Taesun's room. Hearing that, Cheon also becomes shy, and the people who were doing or about to do something also become very shocked. The screaming was so loud that it echoed throughout the entire quotation house, making all the girls blush. Then the scene of Taesun's room is shown. The girl was screaming loudly, and she was screaming because Taesun was using his soul augmentic demonic art on her. Then, after some time, the scene changes. Taesun finishes his work, and as soon as he opens the door, Cheon is standing there and says, "Young master, is everything all right?" Then Taesun is shown, and some kind of energy is being released from his body. Then he says, "That was wonderful." Then Taesun starts leaving from there. Then the girl who was with Taesun is shown. She had become more beautiful than before. Seeing her, all the other girls become shocked. Then the other girls start asking her, "Did he give you any elixir?" She says, "No, nothing like that. I don't remember what happened to me, but my body feels much lighter than before, and I feel as if I have been born again. Then the scene of Golden Wall Merchant is shown. Soso is sweeping and thinking worriedly that maybe Tayson fainted inside the quotation house. But then the door opens, and Soso looks toward it. Tayson and Cheon have returned. Then Soso comes to Tayson and says, "Young master, did you really go to the quotation house? Are you all right?" Then Tayson says, "If you're curious, you can ask him." And Cheon remembers the quotation house noises and becomes shy. Then Soso thinks, everything looks fine, but did he really go there? Then, after some time, Tayson's room scene is shown. Tayson is trying to connect his meridians using the absorbed demonic art energy. Some time later, he opens his eyes and looks at his hand, thinking, right now I can only connect to the small meridians. After dying, I understood the soul augmentic demonic art. If I kill people and absorb their soul, it will have side effects, and my body will break. But if I purify the evil thoughts of a soul that is alive, I can absorb its purified energy without any side effects. And this is the strongest energy of the soul. And this is the essence of the soul augmentic demonic art. Because the stronger their thoughts, the stronger their purified energy. And I chose the quotation house because the people there have gone through many hardships. This gave me good results. But truly, this body is even weaker than I thought. It seems I will have to keep going to the quotation house. Then the scene of the quotation house is shown where Tayson has returned. All the girls begin running and say, "He is back." The one who spends the night with him becomes extremely beautiful. He is truly a real man. Then all the girls surround Tayson and say, "Today you look very handsome. Who will you choose today?" Then a girl standing above gets angry and says, "He came again." Then it is explained she is the owner of Fragment Flower House. Someone next to her says, "Should I install noise isolation in his room?" The owner says, "I tried that, but it was useless." As soon as he comes, all the girls pounce on him. Even if we isolate the noise, it won't help. Because of this, our other customers are getting upset. Then the person next to her says, "I heard he is a big problem." The owner says, "Phantom Shadow, doesn't this seem strange to you? He is near death. No one knows when he will die. Why is he suddenly behaving like this? Why is he coming to a quotation house like Fragment Flower House instead of the Golden Wall Merchant?" Then Phantom Shadow says, "Should I go find out what the Golden Wall Merchant is doing?" The owner says, "No, don't do that. If we investigate carelessly, we will get into big trouble. Just watch him today. We just need to know what he does inside." Then Tayson is shown thinking, "I need a girl from whom I can absorb even more energy." Then he says, "I want to see all the girls here." After a while, many girls come. The servant says, "These are the most popular girls here. Besides them, no one could possibly attract your attention." Then a girl standing nearby is shown, and strong energy is coming from her. Seeing that, Tayson is shocked. Then he walks toward her and says, "I will decide who can attract me." The most popular girl makes a face seeing that and thinks, "Why is the young master going to her?" Tayson comes to the girl and asks, "What is your name?" She says, "My name is Danyang." Tayson says, "All right, then today I need you." The other girl says, "She is the ugliest girl here." Another girl says, "It seems the young master has a different taste." Then they go inside, and Tayson looks at Danyang and thinks, "Her soul has extremely depressing energy. This is exactly what I was looking for. Even though it is dangerous, I have already connected all the necessary meridians. I can take this risk. I can use her soul to connect my core meridian. When Taizan opens the door and enters, he looks forward and thinks, "Look at these bastards." Then he says, "Cheon, give me your sword." Cheon says, "Okay, young master." Taizan takes the sword and throws it forward. The sword contains Taizan's energy. It goes straight and gets stuck in the ceiling. Blood drips from the sword, meaning phantom shadow was above the ceiling. Seeing that, Cheon thinks, "Was there an assassin there?" Taizan says, "You are still alive." Then Taizan thinks, "Even though I've gotten stronger, I thought I could easily kill one man. But I am still very weak." Seeing the blood splatter, Danyong becomes terrified and starts shaking. Then Taizan says, "I'll leave this to you. I have something to do with her." Cheon says, "Yes, young master." Then Taizan turns back and says, "Danyong, today I will properly absorb your soul, so be ready." Then the scene shifts to another place, the Yunnan Manor. A girl says, "I heard that the second young master went to the quotation house again last night." The girl sitting in front of her says, "What do people call him these days?" Hearing this, the first girl starts thinking. Then information about this girl is given. Her name is Yusan, and she is the bodyguard of Yan Manor. Then she says, "People call him the Night King of Fragment Flower House and a passionate man." Hearing this, the girl sitting in front slams a book on the table and says, "Take me to Fragment Flower House. I want to meet him." Then we are told about this girl. She is the only daughter of Yan Manor, Yan Haran, and she is also Taizan's fiancée. Then the next day's scene is shown. Cheon greets and says, "Young master, I have come to take you back." But then Cheon becomes shocked because a lot of energy is coming out of Taizan's body. Then he says, "What did you do with the assassin?" And Cheon thinks while looking at Taizan, truly, extraordinary energy is coming out from him. Then Cheon says, "I imprisoned him in the prison." Taizan says, "You did very well. I need to rest. Let's go back." And Cheon, looking at Taizan, thinks, "Is he really the same second young master I knew? Not only his energy has changed, he is extremely skilled now. He can strike a hidden assassin with perfect accuracy. He looks like a completely different man." Then it is shown that they are going back, and Taizan looks at his hand thinking, "I have connected one core meridian. As a result, my body senses have increased greatly, but I still need to connect 6 more. My path is still long. But this body is no longer trash like before." Then he smiles and thinks, "A heavenly demon like me getting happy over a small achievement. It seems I have changed a lot." Then he focuses ahead and starts thinking. Then we see Yan Haran standing in front of him, with Yusen beside her. Seeing her, Taizan thinks, "Who is this woman? Why is she staring at me like this?" Then Lady Yan says, "Young master, did you go to the quotation house again today?" Taizan thinks, "I have never seen her before. Does she know Taizan?" It seems Taizan wasn't completely stupid. Then Lady Yan says, "Are you behaving like this because you are unhappy with our engagement? Are you trying to push me away intentionally?" Hearing this, Taizan becomes shocked and thinks, "Engagement?" Then Lady Yan comes very close and says, "Even if you are doing this intentionally, I will never leave you." Then she blushes and says, "So please, don't leave me." Seeing her, Tyson thinks, what is she talking about? I have never even seen her before. Then Taeson says, there is nothing like that. I will never leave you. Hearing this, Lady Yan smiles. Then she makes a cute face and says, so finally you acknowledged my feelings, accepted them. Then Taeson, walking away, thinks, if she hears what she wants to hear, then I will just leave. Then Lady Yan blushes and says, young Master Taeson. Hearing this, Taeson thinks, I can't believe a woman has embarrassed me, the former heavenly demon. This woman is very difficult to handle. Then he looks at Cheon and thinks, why did he leave me and walk so far ahead? Then we see Cheon, who is also blushing. Then sometime later, the scene shows Taeson bathing in hot water, and Soso is pouring hot water into the tub. Then Soso says, young master, I heard you met Lady Yan on the way back home. Taeson says, how do you know about this? Soso says, I have eyes and ears everywhere in Wuhan. Hearing this, Taeson thinks, so she will be the one who tells me all the information about this place. Then Soso says, is Warrior Cheon okay? Taeson says, is Cheon sick? Soso says, don't you know? Warrior Cheon likes Warrior Yu. Taeson says, Warrior Yu? Who is that? Soso says, she is Lady Yan's bodyguard. Warrior Cheon's eyes are always fixed on her. Hearing this, Taeson thinks, so that's why he left me and went ahead. Then he smiles and thinks, fear and respect. Back then, these things were beyond imagination, when only fear and respect existed. But for some reason, I am not angry at all. Maybe because my soul has mixed with Taeson's soul. There are so many interesting things here that I need to learn. Then nighttime comes at the Golden Wall Merchant's prison. Cheon and Taeson are shown. Cheon says, I have blocked his pressure points, but he is extremely cruel. He can do anything in the blink of an eye. Taeson says, is that so? Excellent. Now release him. ... Phantom Shadow, the assassin, is lying there. Seeing him, Taeson smiles and thinks, this is very good. He has a lot of negative energy. An assassin has the most dangerous thoughts. But their soul energy is also extremely powerful. This means I can take a lot from him. Then Phantom Shadow is shown unconscious, and a lot of negative energy is coming out of him. Only Taeson can see this energy. Taeson thinks, now that my core meridian is connected, I can try this. Then he says, Cheon, go outside. Cheon says, but young master, he is dangerous. What are you planning to do? Taeson says, even if you knew, what would you do? You couldn't even sense his presence. Then Cheon says anxiously, but this is different. If you stay alone with him, it could be dangerous for you. Taeson angrily says, I will not repeat myself. Then Cheon bows his head and says, okay, I understand. Cheon leaves and stands outside the prison. Cheon thinks, again, I can't breathe because of the pressure coming from inside. It feels like I am standing in front of a peak martial master. Then suddenly a loud screaming sound comes from inside the prison. Hearing it, Cheon thinks, whose voice is that? Is it the young master? No, it is not his voice. What is happening inside? Then inside the prison, Taeson is shown using his soul augmenting demonic art. Taeson thinks, this assassin is even more dangerous than I expected. His soul is extremely filthy. Then the impure energy along with the soul starts peeling out. The pain makes Taeson cough and he thinks, is this energy too much for me to handle? There is black energy in his hands. Then Taeson thinks, after purifying the impure parts of the soul, only pure soul energy remains. But in this case, the soul is too corrupt. Even though it isn't too much, it is mixed. It seems I still need to keep going to the quotation house. So, what is happening is Tyson removes the impure soul energy from people and uses that energy for himself. That is why the women in the quotation house looked beautiful, because Tyson absorbed their impurities. Then the scene shifts to Fragment Flower House. The owner is worried, biting her nails. She snaps her fingers and says, "It has already been 2 days since that brat Tyson took Phantom Shadow away. Still no news about him." The servant says, "We have no news yet." Then someone opens the door and says, "Madam, this is important. Come outside and see. Phantom Shadow has returned, but he looks very strange." Phantom Shadow is shown. Red energy is coming out of him, and he is screaming in pain. The owner says, "What happened to him? Block his pressure points and wake him up." The servant tries, but when he presses the pressure point, Phantom Shadow's body starts melting. The owner and servant are shocked. The owner is so shocked, she falls to her knees. Phantom Shadow's entire flesh melts in the blink of an eye. The furious owner says, "Golden Wall Merchant's second young master, is this how you want to play with me?" Then she stands and says, "Where is Danyong?" The servant says, "We were preparing to send her to the Crimson Sect leader." The owner says, "Instead of sending Danyong, we will send Byok Tyson to the Crimson Dragon Sect leader." The servant panics and says, "If we do that, the Crimson Dragon Sect will go after us. If they find out, they will kill us all." The owner says, "I know. Cancel their visit. Fragment Flower House will send a very good gift to the second young master." Then we are told that within a short time, a rumor spread rapidly in Fragment Flower House. Whoever spends the night with Byok Tyson becomes so beautiful as if reborn. People believe he is a god who makes women beautiful and restores their youth. Earlier, I thought this was just a rumor among the Fragment Flower House women. I also thought so, but now I don't think so. The one saying this is Danyong. She says, "I want to serve him." The owner laughs and says, "Really? Is he truly a descendant sent from heaven? Do you want to serve him? Have you fallen for him? Tell me what he said. Did he tell you he will repay your debt and ask you to serve him?" Danyong says, "He didn't say anything to me." The owner says, "I don't know what he said, but until your debt is cleared, you are indebted to Fragment Flower House. You must obey my orders, so obey me and prepare to go to the Crimson Dragon Sect leader." Then the present time scene is shown. Danyong is standing at the Golden Wall Merchant Manor gate. She thinks, "I thought I would be dragged to the Crimson Dragon Sect leader, but I ended up here. Is this my fate? I'm very nervous. Will he accept me? What if he thinks I am dirty? What will I do then? But still, I want to meet him again." Then Tyson is shown, trying to connect his meridians using impure energy. Suddenly he hears a sound outside, so he stops and opens his eyes, looking to the side. Then So-So says, "Young master, a visitor has come." The visitor is Danyong. She enters. Seeing her, Tyson thinks, "What is Danyong doing here?" Then Danyong says, "Greetings, young master Tyson. I want to serve you, and that is why I suddenly came here to meet you. This life was given to me by you, so I want to live for you. I hope you will allow me to stay with you." Tyson looks at her and thinks, she looks completely different. Is this because I purified all her impure thoughts? Meaning I removed all her dirty thoughts. Interesting. Then he says, So-So, where do you sleep?" So-So says, "I stay in the pavilion where other servants live." Tyson says, Find another place. Both of you will live together, and that place must be near me. So becomes shocked and says, will she work as a maid? Taesin says, then what else will she do? Then Taesin leaves and says, and if I ever go outside, take care of her. So looks at Dainang and thinks, she is too beautiful to be a maid. Why is the young master doing this? Is it because he doesn't have much time left to live? Then the scene shifts to Wu Han's top 3 quotation houses. The second quotation house, Fallen Flower House. Taesin arrives there and reads the name, saying, Fallen Flower House. I like this name. I'm excited for the impure soul energy of the people here. Then he walks inside, saying, for now I will only go to Fallen Flower House. Cheon says, yes, young master. Then someone shouts, Golden Wall Merchant's second young master, there he is. Hearing this, Cheon turns to look. Then we are told about this man. He is Wee Juksum, the leader of the Crimson Dragon sect. He says, I was surprised to hear who took my Danyong away. And it turns out to be just a small child. Taesin says, what is this muscle man's problem? Cheon says, he is the Crimson Dragon sect leader, Wee Juksum. Taesin says, Crimson Dragon sect? Then Cheon says, this is an unorthodox group who have established themselves in this area. Then Taesin says, unorthodox group? Don't they look like bandits? They are nothing more than leeches. How did they even dare to take such a big name? After that, Taesin turns around and while leaving says, ignore them. Seeing which Jeoksim says, are you ignoring me? Your face looks like that of a girl. Hearing these words, Taesin stops right there and starts looking at Jeoksim angrily, and he starts thinking, from before, he hated this boy's handsome face, and how dare you call my face a girl's face? Seeing him, Jeoksim laughs a lot and says, why are you staring at me so intensely? If you had been born in a dog society, even a female dog would feel shy after seeing you. Then Taesin says to Cheon, leave him. I am leading the rest of the people to you. After that, Cheon takes out his sword and starts thinking that there are 2 men here. After that, we are shown Jeoksim's 2 henchmen, who were taking Jeon very lightly. Then Jeoksim says, you keep bodyguards to show yourself as a man, and you also have some courage, so I will let you go, but on one condition, that you will give me the Dani. Then Taesan says, that question does not even arise. You talk too much nonsense. Do you fight only with that big mouth of yours? Hearing these words, Jeoksim gets angry and says, what did you just say, little kid? Then while attacking Taesan, he says, it seems like you want to go to hell today. But before sending you to hell, I will ruin this girl-like face of yours. Then we are shown Cheon, who had finished off both of his henchmen, and he starts getting nervous while looking toward Taesan. Then it is shown that Jeokkan attacks Taesin, but Taesin stands very calmly in front of him. Then Chan shouts loudly and says, young master, move away from there quickly. Then we are shown Taesin, who is moving his hands so fast that even after images are being formed. Then it is shown that Taesin very quickly moves to the side and with the palm of his hand delivers a powerful punch under Jockum's chin. After that, Taesin starts thinking to himself, I had to hold myself back, because this body will not be able to endure my full power. This body is truly still very weak. Then it is shown that with that punch, Jeoksim is finished right there on the spot. Then Cheon comes and says, young master, are you all right? Then Taesin says, have you already killed the rest of the people? Then Cheon says, no, I have not killed those people. Then Tayson says, "You are very weak. Finish those people and follow me." Then Cheon says, "All right, young master. I understand." And if anyone asks about this, it was you who killed the mighty Joksim. I don't like getting involved in troublesome matters. Chon replies, "All right, young master." Then Chon looks at Joksim and thinks, he killed the Crimson Dragon sect leader with just one bare-handed strike. This cannot be coincidence. Earlier too, he caught the hidden assassin. Who exactly is he?